Hey everyone, it's Lady B here. I want to say welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me on today. Today is going to be a short story. First of all, let me acknowledge you all. I miss you all. Come in close. Come here. Smooches, babies. I miss y'all. I have not talked to y'all since February, and I apologize. Life has been lifing. Yeah. For those who don't know, I am now in Georgia. Yeah. And I have been since July. It is now October. My husband was out here getting things in order and everything. Me and the kids came in July. So yeah, let me tell you how life has been lifing. And yes, y'all, I'm cold. And so my disclaimer, disregard any noise that you may hear in the background or side conversations because, I got kids, 3. And they have grown up a little bit since we've talked. I have a 2-year-old Amara, and she is definitely the OG, okay, original gangster, okay, period, poo. I have a 3-year-old JJ, charming goofball, definitely smart mouth, definitely, that's my boo, and then I have my oldest, my 8-year-old, Chloe, the star. So yeah, just so if you hear them, it's bedtime. So they may cry a couple of times. They may come down here a few times. Whatever. We're going to keep it rolling. All right. So let me tell you what the deal has been since I've been here in Georgia and what's been happening these last couple of months that's brought me to the place that I actually need to talk to y'all. So let's talk about how you move and, with relocation or moving or a new addition to the family or losing a job or whatever the case is, there's always that thing that you have to deal with insurance, health insurance, right? You got to get new doctors, you got to get new therapists, new psychiatrists, you got to go into a whole new network. That you never been with. You don't know if the network that you're with goes to, where you are now. All that stuff. So that's what I'm dealing with. And all the glitz and glamour, because mind you, I'm a person that had health insurance. And now I've gone to no health insurance at the moment. I am in the place of getting insurance. But I don't have Georgia insurance. I have Maryland insurance. I don't have Georgia insurance. But what is Maryland insurance going to do for me? Because who's going back and forth to Maryland like that? Not me, Boo Kitty. So it doesn't help me. And all right, I've been tripping. Okay, y'all. So a lot of you know, if you watch my other videos, that I deal with a few mental health issues. I have bipolar depressive disorder. That's just basically the type of depression I have is I have really bad mood swings that are managed by medications right now. And I have a lot of depression. Like I have major depression. I can go weeks, days, months, years in depression. And maybe out of every 30 days, I may have a high, like 2-3 high days out of 30. So most of my days are low when I'm going through my episodes. I'm not typically, everything's managed with medication or, therapy or psychiatrist or, if you're into the holistic stuff, you got stuff that you can do holistically that I'll probably start looking into because I don't want to be on medicine forever. But anyway, yeah, so I deal with bipolar depressive disorder. I deal with anxiety, major anxiety. I deal with PTSD and sexual trauma. All this happened over the course of time, so nothing that happened immediately. Postpartum. I'm still in my postpartum period. My daughter's 2. My son is 3. Go figure. I didn't start having postpartum depression with Chloe until she was 3. Like, I didn't realize how bad it was until she was 3. So, I'm dealing with all of that. On top of my normal life, being a mom, being a wife, working, having my own businesses, all that good stuff, singing, church, blah, blah, blah. So, I need a little bit of help and consistency and whatever. So originally, I was with my therapist. My psychiatrist finished our sessions back in June or May or June. So this week, I decided to actually go out and seek for the help, because originally I was just calling numbers and, getting the runarounds to different places, and it just wasn't working out. And I had applied for insurance. I had gotten denied for whatever reason. Now I got to reapply again, or whatever the case is. So dealing with all of that. So this week or last week, I realized, or I felt myself in a spiral. And lately I've been able to detect when I'm spiraling or feel it coming on, or whatever the case is. I'm able to acknowledge what's happening now, because it's happening enough times, or I'm noticing different symptoms, or someone's pointing out the different symptoms, and I'm, taking the meat, leaving the bones, or whatever. So I, have been noticing my symptoms. And this last week, I hate getting to a real manic place. And what does manic look like for me? I'm not impulsive. And let me not say impulsive. I'm not to the point where I act off of my thoughts immediately. I'm still analytical. I'm not impulsive as a person. I'm very analytical. And I've just been noticing, what's good for me, what's not good for me, how I act when certain things happen. I'm learning my triggers, all that stuff. So I feel the place of me spiraling downward. Meaning I'm depressed, but I'm not at my lowest point just yet. I'm getting there, and before I get there, I decided I wanted to go get some help to avoid getting to that place. Now, let me tell you the situations I ran into. Okay. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I really had an episode, and it was bad. It was bad. Thank God we're still here. I didn't try anything. Just dealing with thoughts and, different things. Around that time, I decided to call the crisis hotline, to see how it works, what they do, how they, do things. And so, okay, cool. I'm talking to the crisis hotline, and when I get off the phone, they gave me resources and everything. So I have numbers to call, facilities to call, addresses to go visit, and everything. All right, cool. I'm calling these places. One place in particular, Highland, I think it's Highland River. And yes, I'm going to give y'all the names because I'm going to let y'all know how they been doing. So the place Highland Rivers, it's a number to call. Well, when you call the number, you get sent straight to a voicemail. You ring a couple of times and then you get sent to a voicemail. So you have to leave a voicemail of your name, number, and your crisis. And someone will get back to you as soon as possible. I called them people back in the beginning of October. It is October the 30th. I have not received a call from them yet. That's number one. Okay, cool. But they're a crisis hotline center. All right, cool, whatever. I go to the next numbers. It's all over Georgia. I'm in Cobb County, so they have a lot of little programs here. So I'm looking and I'm researching and I'm calling all these numbers, and one place didn't have availability till December. Another place didn't know when they would have availability. Another place was just a support place, and I don't need support as far as like substance and alcohol use and stuff. I don't need help in those areas. So, whatever. So then I tried the text. I got text messages. I tried to text the hotline. That was a little successful. It helped me out of my moment in that moment. It allowed me to talk to somebody in that moment, but I still did not receive help as far as trying to get a therapist, trying to get a psychiatrist, trying to make sure my medications are good, whatever. I didn't get that. So I decided on last Monday, because that Friday I had called the hotline to see if like mobile support could come out and talk to me or whatever. They ended up not coming. They just talked to me on the phone and just referred me to some places. So that was okay. I really wasn't in a crisis mode. So I just was trying to, figure things out or whatever. So it was okay. So they told me to go someplace to call. I'm going to pull it up because I want y'all to know. I went to Cobb County Community Services Board Behavioral Health Crisis Center on Monday, October, I'm going to give exact dates too. October 24th. I went there because on Saturday when I had talked to the crisis hotline, they said I could go to the Behavioral Health Crisis Center by 8 o'clock, get in line by 8 o'clock to receive services. So I waited till Monday, and what did I do? I went to the Behavioral Health Crisis Center, Cobb County Community Services, Behavioral Health, Mental, whatever you want to call it. I went there. CSB, BHCC, I don't care. I went there. And I got there at 8. She told me between 8 and 8:15. So I got there about 8:10. I get in there and, she's like, oh, well, the person that I speak to in there is like, oh, well, we don't have any more services available for today. We're booked up. How y'all booked up and y'all told me to come at 8:15? Then y'all just start? All right, whatever. So come to find out, they open at 7:30. By 8 o'clock, their sessions are booked. All walk-ins, they're already booked. All right. So they're like, come back tomorrow between 7:15. Me still thinking that it doesn't open till 8 o'clock. So I'm still thinking I'm going to be outside for a while in the cold. Whatever. All right, cool. What do? I come back the next day at 7:10. I got there at 7:10. Come to find out they opened at 7:30. All right. I was the first in line. They opened up at 7:30, open the doors, and they let us in. So I'm going in, and I go up the steps to the second floor where the services are supposed to be available. And I'm the first person in line. So the lady, she opens the window and she's like, hi, I'm such and such, how may I help you today? And I was like, hi, here are all my documents. I came for mental health services. Mind y'all, it's 7:30 in the morning. I was the first in line. She tells me, oh, we're booked up for today. Now, y'all, I'm not a morning person. I mean, I may seem like it because that's what I have to do because I have kids, but I'm not a morning person. So being up at 7 o'clock, standing outside in somebody's cold in the dark, to be told that the services are no longer available when the day had just started, what sense does that make? So I was like, what do you mean no services are, available? I'm cool, calm, and collective. I have a little attitude, but it's more so frustration, and I'm at my wit's end. So I'm kind of flustered and stuff. Like, I'm just trying to get help. That's it. Whatever. So I go, what do you mean there's no more services available? Y'all told me to come at 7, between 7:15. I get here at 7:10, and I stand out here and I'm waiting in the cold for, however long. And I mean, it wasn't that long, but y'all opened the door, and the first thing you tell me is y'all already booked up. I say, how does that make sense? So when is your next availability? And she was like, well, you can come tomorrow. And I said, well, will you have services available tomorrow when I come? Oh, well, I don't know, because we don't know to the end of the day. Ma'am, how y'all gonna have any services unavailable when you ain't taking services today because you done turned me around at 7:30 in the morning? You ain't taking nobody. So how you not gonna have any services available the day after? You ain't booking nobody for today, so you should have something available for the next day. So she goes, well, I'm sorry. And the whole time she's talking, I didn't have a problem with the fact that they didn't have no services available. I mean, that was an issue. But now my energy is turned on the fact that you're pretty much dismissing me. You have a nonchalant attitude. You don't care. You're working in customer service and you have no type of customer service. So that's where I'm at. So on top of being flustered, upset, tired, irritated, having a panic attack or whatever you want to call it, I got to deal with this. So I was like on the verge of tears. I was holding it in. I was like, so is there somewhere else I can go? And this lady goes, oh, well, I'm sorry, I don't know any other places. I said, ma'am, please stop playing with me. Y'all are a whole behavioral health center, crisis center. You're not going to sit here and tell me y'all don't have referral numbers that you can give me to go elsewhere. Like, y'all a whole health facility. And crisis center. So how do you not have anything that you can help me with? Like, how do you, when y'all close early, y'all have to have a list of places to send people. Like, when y'all close unexpectedly, y'all post on y'all website different places for you to go to receive services so that you're not without. When you are full, you have referral numbers to send people places so that they can go somewhere else to receive the services if they cannot receive it from you because you're booked up. So stop playing with me and telling me that you cannot provide me anything. So mind y'all, I'm not in a manic state at this point. I'm feeling it coming, and I'm trying to avoid the manic happening. So I'm trying to avoid what happened a few weeks ago and trying to be proactive and, seek and get the help I need so that we don't have this problem. So then she looks over to her other person that I guess was helping but wasn't helping. And the lady's like, well, is she in Cobb County or where is she? I say, I live in Cobb County. I live around the corner. I live down the street. Like, I'm here. Y'all 8 minutes from my house. She was like, okay, well, you can give her this number. Y'all, they gave me a number that's almost an hour away. What was that going to do for me right then and there? I needed something in range right then and there to help me. So now at this point, I'm crying because I'm pissed. Because I'm not getting help. I got up out of my bed, prayed and everything. I'm totally expecting, this to go a whole different way. And of course, my plans are not God's plans. But at the end of the day, I still had a way in my mind that I wanted it to go, and it didn't go that way. I did not receive the help that I needed, not from that facility. And again, that facility was Cobb County Community Service Behavioral Mental Health Crisis Center. Whatever you want to call it, that's where it was. And if you Google it, it'll come right up. So yeah, so I got turned away from that place, and that was the crisis center, the main crisis center. So if the main crisis center cannot help me when I'm in a crisis, or puts me into a crisis trying to get help, what good are you? You're not good for me. So I'm pissed at them. So what I go do is I sit outside the facility, because I honestly, y'all, I really wanted to just go across the little glass pane that was in there, because I felt really disrespected and just didn't care. As a human being, you had no empathy, no compassion, no sympathy, no nothing. As a human being, you're looking at me and you're going, oh, well, I don't have nothing to help you with, so you can go on your way. I'm coming to y'all for help. Give me somewhere to go. If the lady had told me, okay, I'm sorry, ma'am, I don't have any availability today, but here's another place you can try, and gave me the number that she gave me, even though it was 30 to an hour away, I would have took that, because you did your job. You helped me. I did not have to beg you for it. I did not have to ask you for it. You simply gave me the help that you're supposed to do. But she did not do that. So yes, I was pissed. So I sat outside the facility pissed. Yeah, so boom. So I sit outside the facility, I'm pissed. And so what I decided to do is call different places, because I'm trying to literally find somewhere I can go that day to receive help, so that I can get this ball rolling, I can get my services done, and I'll have the help that I need or whatever. So I called about 7-8 different places. 3 of them I got voicemails, and y'all, it was to the point I was leaving voicemails crying, and I hate people to hear me cry. I hate people to see me cry, but I was leaving voicemails like this. I was going, I was like, for the Highland Park or Highland River one, whatever it's called, I was like, hello, I'm Brianna Bray, and I... Now tell me if they understood that. Every other word was... So here's me giving my number. 40... Having to repeat my number 4 times, because I realized that I'm hysterically crying because I need help. And I'm not able to find it. So then after calling 7 or 8 facilities, I then called the crisis hotline again. Maybe they can, bring out the mobile services, and maybe the mobile services can actually come out and talk to me this time. So I'm on the phone with them, and they're asking me, mind you, I've gone through the same question a million times. I've gone through automated voicemails and systems for the last hour. All this transpired. Here it is. It's 8 something now. And I'm I don't know what else to do. I'm calling the person. I did call the hotline. He stayed on the phone with me for a good 20 minutes. He gave me some resources that did end up in a dead end, but I wasn't mad at him, because he gave me the resources. He tried to help. He did what he could do. He did what he knew. And it didn't help. It didn't work. But I was not mad at him. I was very grateful and appreciative, actually. So what I decided to do at 8:45 was go to the hospital, go to the ER, because at this point, I'm not suicidal. I wasn't homicidal, but I did want to bash that lady's face in. But I was having an episode, and I was getting to the not necessarily suicidal point, but to the I just want to be done with everything. I just want everything to be over with. If I got hit by a car, then, what happens. That's the kind of stuff I was, thinking about. I wasn't worried about that. So I go to the ER. I get there about, it was 9 o'clock, 8:50, 9 o'clock. Because all this transpired. I think I left the parking lot from the other place at 8:30. So I got to the hospital about 8:45, 8:50. I signed in, do all that stuff. I called first. I called before I went there. I called and asked, do y'all have a specific, thing for mental health people? And it was like, yes. I said, do I need to do anything to come? No, just come. Is there a wait? No, there's no wait. All right, boom, bada bang. I get there and I go. And there was a wait. I got triaged and everything. They hooked me up to IV, everything. Like, as if I was really getting institutionalized or something. And I sat in a room for 7 hours. Let me rephrase that. I sat in the hospital for 7 hours. I sat in that room for a good 5. And to be told what? To have my blood taken to make sure I don't have drugs in my system. And to make sure I didn't, I wasn't taking anything I wasn't supposed to be taking, that, all my levels are balanced or whatever the case is. They did all that. Took my pee to make sure I wasn't pregnant. If I had came up pregnant, do y'all know what I would have done? I would have been tripping. Because my tubes are tied. So if I had came up pregnant, we would have had a problem. And I don't want to hear nothing, them side comments about, some people had their tubes tied and blah, blah, blah. Some people had a vasectomy, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to be that testament. So, yeah. So I sat in the hospital for 7 hours and I got no help. The psychiatrist came and talked to me, and he pretty much told me that since I didn't have insurance, that there was nothing they could do. He was sending me back to the place I came from. So I'm going to go all into that in a few minutes, but I'm about to go spend time with my boo. I'll be back. Bye. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I'm about to hurry up and do this video. Hurry up and do this segment. I went and had time with my hubby. I went to sleep. As you can see, the light is on. The sky, I can't even talk. The day is coming up. And when I talk to y'all, it's nighttime. So let me hurry up before I go wash my face off and everything, get ready for the day. So I left off at the fact that I went to the hospital in search for help. And they triaged me, got my blood pressure. And it was a little elevated because I was worked up that morning. And then I waited a little bit. Then they took me back into another room where they hooked me up to my IV. And, took all my blood after I hadn't eaten. Took all my blood and everything. Like, literally, like 8 to 9 tubes of blood. Yeah. And then I went back out there in the waiting room and I waited. And then finally they called me for a room. So it happened pretty fast. I got in the room about 10 o'clock, 10 something. And so we're in the room and waiting. You know how it is when you get into that hospital room. You just wait all your life. So I was waiting, and so a nurse comes in. She, takes some more blood, and she asks me what happened or why I'm here. I tell her. Then, the next doctor comes in, maybe an hour later, asks the same questions. I tell them all over again. Mind you, I'm emotional. So every time I'm trying to explain something, I start crying. I explained to them what's going on, just looking for help wherever I can get it. And nobody's been helping me, and I was told that y'all could help. So he takes that and he leaves. And then maybe after 2 hours, the psychiatrist comes in. Now, in between all these visits, y'all, I'm laying in bed, texting my husband, just crying. I kept telling him, I don't know what to do. I can't get myself together. Every time I go to say something, I just start crying. It was making me more mad because I just kept crying. Like, girl, I'm okay. Like, come on. So he's, trying to calm me down the whole time I'm there. He asked if I wanted him to come, but it was no point of him coming. I was just sitting there. But I would have rather have cried and had company in my own home than to sit and look at four different walls, well, four same walls, for 7 hours and cry by myself and still leave out with no help. Yes. So then the psychiatrist comes in and he talks to me and he's asking me all these questions and I'm very descriptive, so, to the point where he goes, well, do you have insurance? I said, no, not at the moment. I'm working on getting insurance. But in the meantime, between time, I'm trying to find resources to get help. So, he goes, oh, okay, well, where did you go this morning? I went to Cobb County Community Service Mental Health Crisis Center. And he was like, and you went to the second floor? I said, I went to the second floor. And he was like, so what happened? I said, I was first in line at 7:30 in the morning, and they told me there were no services available and to try again tomorrow, which didn't guarantee services to be available then. And then I went on my little spew. I don't know how they can't know what their schedule is like for the next day when they're not taking anybody for this day. So, he listened to me or whatever. And he was like, oh, okay, well, have you tried anywhere else? And I was like, I've called many places. Nobody's available. I'm not getting answers. I'm running into dead ends and I don't know what else to do. I've called the hotline. I've texted the hotline. I've talked to the mobile people, everything. So I need help. And he kept asking, well, do you feel like you're going to hurt yourself? No. Do you feel like you're going to hurt someone else? I'm about to hurt you if you don't help me. So I told him, I said, to be honest, if I had to choose between y'all helping me and a grenade, me and that grenade would be best friends, okay? And he took that and said, okay, well, I really don't have anything else for you. I can go and type you up a list of resources, but the place you went to this morning would be the only place I could really refer you to if you don't have insurance. There's nothing really we can do. You relaying that message to me? I'm at a hospital. I'm in the ER. Y'all can't help me because I don't have any insurance. Okay, great. Awesome to know. So I just wasted 7 hours of sitting here crying, being stuck by needles and getting blood taken out, and I hadn't eaten, and you didn't offer any food, and I couldn't order any food. And y'all want me to walk out. What? I walked out worse than when I came in. Pissed. Now, mind you, when you have insurance, they all for you. Oh, what's your insurance do you have? Oh, that's covered. Okay, blah, 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 blah. You don't have insurance. They say that they have all these resources available for you, all these hotlines, all these, whatever. I'm just talking about mental health. I ain't even going to talk about regular life, period, because ain't no help in regular life, but whatever. But as far as the mental health, stuff, y'all say y'all have all these resources and stuff for people because there are a lot of people that don't have insurance at all, especially the homeless people and stuff. So what are y'all doing for them? Nothing. I found out that day that y'all do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, and then let me tell you what the kicker was, because that wasn't the kicker. Tune in deeper. Kicker was at 11 something in the morning on Sunday morning, after I went to the hospital on Tuesday, I got a whopping bill of $1,300. I'm going to put it in the video. Y'all going to see it. I ain't lying. So this is the bill that they charged me. Um, a $1,300 whooping bill. From what? Y'all didn't help me. Y'all didn't give me no resources. You took all my blood. I should be paid for you taking my blood. At this point, this should have been blood donation. Where's my $50 to $100? Y'all took like 8 to 9 tubes of blood. You took 2 samples of pee. Where's my payment? And I know y'all probably laughing and thinking I'm joking. I'm dead serious. Like, houseway, how I'm not gonna be crazy? How am I not gonna be crazy? Y'all sent me a bill for sitting on your bed for 7 hours and you didn't help me. And what hospital was this? Because I'm gonna let y'all know. Wellstar. I think that's the hospital I went to. And Wellstar, well, as well as Fargo, you have we'll all go far in depth together. And that's what you've done. So yes, from Wellstar Health System, they sent me a $1,339.92 bill. Now, actually, what we finna do right now is go in here and find out the breakdown of this bill. And I know I have 30 days. Once I get insurance, I have, in between the 30 days, I should get my insurance. But I realized that I know I have 30 days to dispute it, to report it, or whatever, So I'm going to do that because guess who ain't paying that bill? Especially when no services were received. Y'all just made me open up and keep opening the wound and nobody healed it. Nobody put a band-aid over it. No, y'all left that cut wide open. That wound is wide open. And I'm pissed. I'm livid because I'm trying to get help. So let me understand. You don't want me to be crazy. You don't want me to be irate. But you want me to be crazy and irate. Because clearly, if at the first facility, if I had came at you how I really wanted to, if I was irate or ready to pop off or yelling or this angry person, then I'm the angry woman. I'm that woman. Then I'm the angry black woman on top of that. So then you have a reason to institutionalize me. So because I'm kirking off and I'm popping off and I'm about to fight you, then you'll have a reason to say, oh, she's crazy. Let me admit her into a facility. But not because she walked in here and asked for help, but because she became irate. Because y'all did not give any help. How I'm not going to be crazy. Then, go to the hospital. The hospital has way more resources than a crisis center. How in God's great name can you not help me? Because I don't have insurance. Ooh, I tell y'all. I was at my low. And to be honest, and I'm being very transparent and honest, because I've said this to whoever I've talked to. If I was suicidal in that moment or homicidal, they would have lost another person due to their carelessness, due to their inhumanity. As a human being, you should have some compassion, whatever you want to call it, compassion, sympathy, empathy, understanding, whatever, sensitivity. You should have that. The person that I talked to first at the crisis center had no compassion. She didn't show that she cared. She brushed it off like, you'll be fine, because I'm not in here screaming and, banging my heads on walls saying I'm crazy. I don't get any help. But if I was to do that, then you would have a reason to need to help me, but it would have a different connotation on it. So if I acted like that when I was at the hospital, I would be the angry black woman. I would be the angry woman, this out of control person that doesn't know how to handle her emotions and get through situations. That would be me. But who am I? I'm Brianna Bright, and I'm very analytical, and I think about all these things in the process of all this stuff happening. So Keyshawn stayed back. She right here, but she stayed back, and she let Lady B handle the situation. Well, Lady B was an emotional wreck because all she wanted to do was receive help, get help. Nobody helped me. It's October 31st, Monday morning, 8:48 a.m., and I still have not received any help. Besides the good Lord Jesus of Nazareth, born in Bethlehem away in a manger, where there was no room in the inn. Oh, but yet they crucified my God, and he rose on the third day just to save me from my iniquities. So I have the good Lord on my side. I know how to survive. I know how to keep pressing. I know how not to give up. And so at the end of the day, I do want to take time in this video to encourage someone else that may be going through it. Like, yes, I'm upset. I'm human. Yes, I'm going to Yelp them as well as tag them in this video. However I can do that. Spread the word, whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, these services are supposed to be rendered to people who need help. And not every person that needs help is going to come to you screaming and crying. Some of them are going to be very quiet and very observant and very, internal. And they're going to come to you calmly and ask you for help. And the moment they don't get that help, they're going to walk outside and do whatever they came in hoping they didn't have to do. Because y'all not, the system is so screwed up. And y'all not helping. And y'all not being there for the people. Y'all about the money. Y'all not about people's health. How are y'all in community services and have no sympathy, no empathy, no compassion, no sensitivity? You're just a hard ball. Anybody in their humanly mind would have looked and just been like, baby, we don't have anything here for you, but if you go up the street to such and such, or if you go to the ER, maybe they can help you a little more. That's all you had to do. That's all I asked for. That's all I was looking for, was help. You didn't have to have the answer. Everybody doesn't have the answer. I get that. But help. But y'all sending people away, coming to you trying to avoid crisis, and y'all send them away into a crisis. How does that work? Make it make sense. So I wasn't suicidal when I walked in, but because y'all did not help me and I sat for hours, 7 hours, bruh, I left out the house at 7 o'clock that morning. I didn't get back in the house till 4 something that evening. Unresolved at that. So imagine a person that would have been in a more manic state. Baby, what if I had gone out to my car? Like, let's put this in perspective. Let's talk about it. Let's be real, because I talk to y'all about mental health, but let me tell y'all what really happens in people's minds. Like, say I had got turned around that day and I was homicidal or suicidal. Well, you just lost a life, because when I walk out, what if I had a gun in my car? I would have popped my head off and kept it, and that would have been that. Or somebody else would have been a victim. Matter of fact, what if I had come back in and shot you up? Let me put my disclaimer in. I don't own a gun. I am not violent. I will not shoot you up. I will not blow you up. I don't have any of those weapons. I don't have it in me to do that. But these are the things that go through people's minds, and there are actual people that will actually do it. So you playing with their mental health is not healthy. It's not helpful for you nor for them, because they're going to a place where they don't want to be. They're going to a place where they're trying to get help to not go to. And you did not do your job. You did not help. And you would have that on your hands. So if I had gone out there and I had been suicidal or homicidal and I decided to act on impulse, they would have seen that I was in front of a crisis, mental health crisis center. Not only would they have seen that, they would have seen it and would have asked what happened. And the lady would have had to tell them at 7:30 in the morning, I turned her away. I couldn't offer her any services, and I didn't offer her any help or where else to go. So y'all don't want us to be crazy, but you want us to be crazy in order to help us. Make it make sense. This industry or that system is screwed up, and they're not here to help you. You got to do your job. You have to do the work. You have to do your research. You have to go looking for a person that they're not going to do it. They're not going to hand it out to you. They're not going to ask you if you need anything. No, you got to go ask, and you got to go know where to look. So I got people calling people. I got people sending me referrals and stuff like that to try to get me some help. I have connections, so we're working on this thing, and we're gonna get somewhere. But I want to tell those people that are dealing with the same thing, and you are in a very dark place, a very low place, baby, I want to tell you to hold on and keep holding on. Whatever you need to find light of to carry on in your daily life, meaning because the trees are green or turning at this moment because it's fall, if that's what helps you get up, let that be your everyday thing to help you get up. And then find a new thing the next day that will help you get up as well. So today was the green trees. Well, now I hear the birds singing the next day. So I want to wake up because I want to get up and going because the birds are singing. Find a reason to get up. I get up because I have a family. They need me. Everybody in my family needs me. I'm not just talking about the people in my home. I'm talking about my family. It would be a great devastation if they lost me. And since they have lost me, they've lost who I was and how I was and everything. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So if, find a reason to get up. Like I said, I have a family. I have a family at home, and then I have my away family, my family, period. And it would be a great devastation to lose me to something so, what's the word I'm looking for? To something so avoidable. Like, I shouldn't have to feel like I want to leave. Whether I want to do it or I want it to just happen out of, I shouldn't feel those ways. I shouldn't feel like,
Mommy.
Yes. Okay. You want some cereal? A waffle? Okay. I shouldn't have to want, to feel these things. I shouldn't have to get to this place in order to get help. So, to facilities out there, do a better job. Because y'all suck. And to those that need help, that's not getting help, keep trying. It's somebody out there that can help you. It's someone that wants to help you. And you have to do the part of keep looking, being persistent, being consistent, and resilient. You know, this ain't for the faint of heart. You gotta have tough skin for this. So I just want y'all to be encouraged on today. So continue to hold on, and I love you all. I hope that this video sheds some light to somebody and help somebody somewhere, or that you just understand what I'm going through, or whatever the case is. But it was a joy. I gotta go get ready. I gotta go wash my face off and, get ready for the day. So you all be blessed. I love you. Thanks for tuning in with Lady B. Say bye.